Good morning everyone and welcome to another video. Today we're going to be working on lesson 15, keep on designing. We're going to be working with a text effect that is designed for t-shirt printing, and we're going to be working with pathfinders, which is, we've covered a little bit, but it's going to be more into pathfinders. We're going to be using the shape builder tool as well, and we're going to be using rotation tool, which is something that we haven't yet done. We're also going to be installing a series of fonts. You can download all of these, but if you want to do the exact font that I'm using, it's going to be this one right here. Those are just in case if you wanted to try something different and try to make it look a little bit different than mine, you can install those. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and click on this one right here. You're going to see that it downloads, and then you can just click on the letter itself, and then you can click install. Once you click install, you'll be able to press to use it on Adobe Illustrator. I've already installed it, so I'm going to just go ahead and click no right here, and then just close out of this. This is what we're going to be doing. So I have Gon's tutorials. You can obviously write your own stuff, or you can just copy what I have, whatever you prefer. But this is the design that we're doing with the color combination that we're kind of going for. You can also choose your own color combination, just play around with it. So I'm going to go ahead and move this out of the way and then just kind of zoom in. Again, Control plus and Control minus so that you can zoom in and zoom out. I'm going to go ahead and select my T, press once, tutorials. There we go. So that is tutorials. I'm going to go ahead and resize this. So you can resize it to around 150 if you want to just type it in. So I'll just go ahead and erase these and put 150 and type it in. I'm a little bit too zoomed in, so I'm going to bring this down to around here. Now, these are free fonts that you can just find on the internet. And because of that, some of these fonts are not always the best designed. So if I zoom in here, you notice that the space between the O and the R is pretty similar to the space in the O and the L, or the I mean, and then the I and the A, and then the A and the L. However, when you go over here, the T and the O, that's not the case, and the T and the U, that's not the case. Usually this happens with like really cheap fonts that are not designed correctly. So what we're going to do is use our kerning tools. So we're going to double click so we can get our cursor right in the middle of the T and the U. You can also come in here and then just go through these numbers yourself, but I like using the shortcut, which is Alt and your arrow keys, and we're just going to go about 3 spaces. Alt over here and my arrow keys about 3 spaces. There we go. And so now I can zoom out a little bit, and now it looks pretty balanced. This does feel a little bit too big, so I'm gonna go about 120. There we go, and put it right here. Now, before we do anything else, this needs to turn into outlines, so it cannot be a text tool. We have to be able to play around and edit with it, and by doing that, we're going to go to Object and Expand and just click OK, and now we have our expanded text. So first thing that we want to do to this is kind of do this separation of color, where we kind of make a cut in the middle of this text. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab our pen tool. We're just going to click somewhere like this, something like that. Maybe come over here like that and come in this way, right? That kind of gives us a nice little cut. And again, you can kind of come in here with your direct selection tool and customize it however you'd like. If you want to tweak it a little bit more or play around with it, but this is kind of what I have right now. I think that looks okay. Yeah. And so with that being said, I'm going to now create that cut. But before I do so, I want to change the color of this so that I can be able to see what I'm doing. So I'm going to double click right here. I'm going to go into my color swatches, and I'm just going to select this cyan color right here, just so I can be able to see it and be able to tell the difference. So now you can clearly see the blue and the black. We'll select both of them, and we're going to go over here to these 3 little dots and click divide. There we go. So now that we've divided, when you come and you put your mouse over it, you can see that everything has been cut into individual little shapes, just like so. But if you select it it's all grouped together. So we need to select, right click, and ungroup. And then now when we unclick on it, we can get in here and just delete the parts we don't need. So this part, this one right here, this one right here. Now notice that there are some spots right here that were created that are now going to have an empty spot like that. We need to get rid of those as well. And they usually get created in areas where, like in the O right here, when it's closed off, you'll see that there's an empty spot that it divided the empty area right here in the S as well. And then just kind of moving my mouse around, making sure I don't have any missing pieces. Right here, the U, and that's it. All right, cool. So now we have it separated, which is a pretty simple task right here. It wasn't too complicated. Now we need to select all the blue part in the top. So I'm gonna do this just like so, move it around. Yep. And I'm gonna go ahead and merge it, and then now it should be stuck together, just like so, right? We're gonna do the same thing for the bottom. So I'm just gonna take my marquees right here and select it very carefully. So I only select the tips. Again, I'm gonna zoom in just so you guys can kind of see what I'm doing, but I'm only selecting just enough to select a little bit of that blue, which selects everything pretty much. I am missing a part up here, so I'm gonna hold shift and click and then merge that, and then now that's all merged together. Then we're gonna go ahead and select the black. For this one, I'm gonna hold shift and select all of them because this is gonna be kind of difficult to select individually. And there you go, and then merge that one as well. So now I can move this a little bit down just like so, and a little bit up just like so. And now we kind of have this like little cut going on. But we're gonna now use our rotation tool, and our rotation tool will allow us to kind of customize this a little bit more. So we're gonna select this one up here on the top. Actually, let's select the black one right here. We're gonna go to the rotation tool, which the shortcut is also R on your keyboard. So press R on your keyboard, and you're gonna notice that this little guy appears right here in the center, which means you can rotate around that area. Control Z. But we don't want to rotate there. We want to rotate right here on the edge, and then we just want to rotate it to where it kind of looks like it gets bigger on one side but smaller on the other, so something like that. And then we'll just bring this a little bit closer and move it off to the side a little bit, just like so. There you go. That looks pretty good. Actually, maybe I feel like I rotated it just a little bit too much, so I'm gonna grab this one, rotation, put it right here in the corner, rotate it just a little less, but still you can see that it's thin on one side and thicker on the other. And then we'll do the same thing with this one right here. We'll select it, put it right here, rotate it this way just a little bit, and then bring it in a little closer. There we go. So now we get tutorials just like so. Now we're going to do the customization of cutting out pieces, these little chunks right here that are cut out, and that's going to be pretty easy. We're going to grab our pen tool and just do some straight lines just like so, close them up. We're going to switch the color of this so we can be able to see it. Color swatches, I'll select the yellow, and then holding Alt, I'm just going to make copies. Press R on my keyboard so I can rotate it a little bit. There you go. Press V on my keyboard, which takes me back to my selection tool, and I can make a copy and put it right here. That looks pretty good. Make another copy. Press R to rotate it this way. Selection tool, bring it up here. Hold Alt to make a copy. Do something like that. Alright, cool. So that looks pretty good. Alright, so now we're gonna delete the parts from the letters, right? So to do that, we're gonna select these two, we're gonna merge them, and then we're gonna do object compound path and make. Also notice that compound path, if you want to do the shortcut, it is Control 8 to do the shortcut. So whenever you want to do compound path, you can just press Control 8. So we're gonna do this one right here, then go to the blue one and press Control 8, which is compound path. Now we'll select both, and go to minus front. That'll get rid of them right there. Do the same thing right here, Control 8. Do the same thing to this one, Control 8. Select both, and then minus the front. Select both of these, merge them, Control 8. Select the black one, Control 8. Select both of them, and then minus the front. And there we go. Now we get our little cuts. From there, we're going to also write with our letter T. We're going to type in Gons because of my YouTube channel, Gons Tutorials. Again, you can type whatever you want. So I'm going to put this around 50. Let's do 36. There we go. That looks pretty good. And we're going to put this right here for now. And again, object, expand, and press OK. We want it centered, but it's going to be kind of hard to find out where the center is. So we're going to select all of this right here. And we're going to press Control G or right click and press group. We're going to group it. We're going to select both of them. And when both of them are selected, you're going to see our align tools, and we're going to put to horizontal align center. That makes it to where it can be centered. Bring this in downwards. And now we get our Gons. Actually, we're going to bring this up a little bit more. There you go. So now our final pieces here is going to be the shape that goes up here, which we're going to draw it just like so. We're going to come in here and change the color of this to something we can see. Arrange it and send to back. Again, we want to make sure that this looks kind of centered. Just like so. Now here's what I'm going to do here. Grab my direct selection tool, click right here, and push it one to the right. I'm holding shift when I do that and using my arrow keys to move it in. Now we're going to grab our pen tool and just kind of do a little design here, something to make it look kind of unique. Just like so. Maybe a little line like that. And a line like that. There we go. I'm gonna grab these and make sure these are something else that I can actually see. There we go. Merge them. Control 8 to make a compound path. This one, Control 8 to make a compound path. Select both, minus front. There we go. We have our cuts. Arrange, send to the back. And now we have our final design. Now this is gonna go theoretically on a black t-shirt, right? Remember, this is a t-shirt style design. So we are going to put a rectangle to imitate black of a t-shirt, and we're gonna put it to black, arrange, and send to the back. And so now we're gonna start using getting our colors to figure out which ones we're gonna do. Now if you notice right now we have them grouped, so we can right click and press ungroup. So now we can select the top part and go in here. I'm gonna go to something that's kind of like a reddish pink. Again, y'all can choose whatever colors you want, something like that. Select the bottom one, press I and select that one. Go here, grab this and choose my color. In this one I used like a cyan color, a little bluish color, but I'm gonna go with a, ooh, even this looks pretty good. I was gonna go for a yellow. Let's just go for the yellow. There we go. Oh my god. Let me do this. V, select right here and change this to like yellowish. Yeah, I kind of like this a lot better. And then grab this color, copy it there. And there we go. That is our final design. You can also go in here and tweak this if you wanted to. So I kind of made this look a little funky. So I'm gonna do this. There you go. That looks pretty cool. And there you go. Your final t-shirt style design. Now the reason why this is a t-shirt design is because, again, this is a black t-shirt, and all you need to accomplish this design is two colors, a pink and a neon green yellowish color, and then that gets applied to the t-shirt. If you all have any questions, just let me know, and as always, stay safe. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.